Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of The Chi. This is season 4, episode 2, and it was titled Cooley High. All right, y'all. So watching this episode, we know why Duda got shot, okay? Because remember they showed in the first episode Duda getting shot. So watching this episode, we see why. But anyway, before I jump into this recap review, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. All right, y'all. So it opens up with we see Tiffany chasing Emmett through the hallway with a knife or whatever. And she like, you cheated. I knew you was a cheater. Yada, yada, yada. So she chasing him down. But we see it's a dream because the guilt is seeping into Emmett's mind. He is feeling guilty as hell, which he should. Like, this is what he gets. Like, nobody told him to sleep with Dom several times. Not just one time, but several times he slept with her. And then he proposed to Tiffany because he was feeling so guilty and stuff like that. It wasn't in therapy and whatnot before yes. So this is what he gets, okay? So he having a bad dream. He wakes up from the nightmare or whatever like that. Tiffany beside him and she like, you okay? You okay? He like, yeah. He thinking he said something in the dream or out loud while he was asleep. Because, you know, sometimes when people have nightmares, they will speak in their, they'll talk while they're sleeping or whatever. So he thinks he said something. And so he like, you not mad at me? And she was like, why would I be mad at you or whatever? And so he gets up. So we didn't see Kevin. He watching something or whatever. Nina telling Kevin she leaving. He was watching it on his phone. Kevin got a big ass attitude, okay? Y'all. Nina and Dre need to put that foot up Kevin's ass so hard because he got a nasty attitude, okay? Nasty attitude. They cussing and fussing at him because he coming in there drunk and high and stuff like that, and they threatening to take away his phone and everything, and he like, well, what you gonna do? What you gonna punish me or something? Like, what you gonna do? I'm tired of you threatening me to do stuff, but you don't never do it, yada, yada, yada. I'm looking like, who is he talking to? So, he mad because he looking for the cheese puffs or something. Keisha done ate all the cheese puffs, so then he mad. And then he like, well, she need to hurry up and have this baby so we can get the F back to normal and stuff like that. And finally, Nina slapped him on the back of his neck. But I'm looking like, what in the world? They talking about he going on this college tour. Dre more interested in the college tour, talking about something, you gonna be partying, girls, yada, yada, yada. That she not even addressing his behavior. Like, hello? Am I dreaming? And whose house is this? Like, we found out whose house they in. Did they buy this house? Did they get, like, where did this house come from? Because this house look old, okay? Like, it got old furniture, old stuff in there. It don't look like none of the furniture or anything they had in the apartment. So was this Dre house? Like, what is going on? But Dre was staying with Nina. So, like, what? Child, I wish they tell us something. Anyway, we see Jada and her new boo, her little masseuse or whatever like that. And he getting in his feelings because she going to her reunion. And he getting all in his feelings and stuff like that because she won't take him and stuff. And he like, well, why you won't take me? She was like, well, how am I supposed to address you or whatever? He was like, well, you could just tell people I'm your masseuse. And she was like, well, you more than that, but I don't have no label on it just yet. So he all in his feelings. They ended up bow chicky wow and stuff. We see Tree. He going through it, okay? He going through it. He daydreaming and stuff about how Jake got beat up by the cops and stuff. And in the last episode, it was the cop that Trig beat up. Because when they showed the playback, I was like, oh, okay, I could see better. And it was the cop that Trig had beat up or whatever. So he going through that and stuff like that. His boo Imani, she come up on him and stuff, talking about lemon pepper wings, and because they having this big party or something like that, and he kind of zoned out and whatever, and you know he want to save the world, and he tired of the injustice and stuff like that. She go over there because he done made breakfast or whatever. She like, what I tell you about putting sugar in my grits? He was like, that's not yours. Yours is over here, but you ain't eating it right anyway. She was like, yes, I am. If I'm eating it with cheese. He was like, nah, not with no cheese and salt and pepper. I said, I know that's right, Trig. I knew I liked him for a reason. Sugar is the only thing that should go in grits. don't at me. But anyway, they was too cute. But anyway, we see Emmett. He in this deep fog again because the guilt is eating him away. So he eat his cereal and stuff like that. Tiffany like, is you okay? Is you all right? He like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. She like, look, I'm running late. He like, well, where you going? She said she going to the studio. He like, well, I don't really want you to go in that area because it's violent in that area. They be shooting up people and stuff. And she like, don't worry about it. I'm fine. And then she said she gonna meet this rapper who raps about niggas ain't being shit. And he was like, no, I don't want you around her or whatever. She was like, well, they ain't shit or whatever. But and you wasn't even until you got your act right or whatever. And maybe everybody not as lucky as me or something like that. I said, oh God, girl. You just don't know. So, Jake, we see him packing. He got what's his arm? I think his arm was, well, I don't know, because that's a soft cast. So maybe it wasn't broken. Maybe it was just like strained or sprained. I don't know. But he looked like he had a soft cast on his arm. But anyway, he packing and stuff, and then these box of condoms fall out. Amani walk in as the box of condoms fall out. Who said something? Jake was like, those ain't mine. So Imani was like, I know they not yours, boo. I put them in there because I know them hoes be fast and I want you to protect yourself because I don't need you busting up the club and bringing back no babies. I said, girl, you right. Because these teenage kids, woo, child, you got to worry about them these days. And these girls be fast and the boys be fast too. So I ain't going to put it all on my ladies. But we saw that fast ass girl. We going to get to it. But anyway, Trig asked him, like, is you ready to go or whatever like that? And let me see. Not Trig. Jake was like, yeah, I'm ready to go, whatever. He was like, you sure? Because you don't really gotta go. Like, you don't gotta be strong. And you don't have to go out there and stuff like that. And Jake was pretty much like, yeah, I do. We always gotta be strong or whatever like that. And like I said, Trig going through it. Jake done packed his bag up. He done left out. Trig sitting there trying to figure out, like, why do we gotta be strong all the goddamn time? Just why? Like, can't we just not be strong for one goddamn minute? Like, just seek it in and stuff like that. But because we always gotta be all strong and this and that, and like we cry and bleed and have stress and stuff just like everybody else. So that's exhausting. But yeah. So then Jake told Trig that he loved him. He said that he loved him too. Gemma, she on the bus. So they all on the school bus. So all the students is on the school bus and they going up to this college. I guess they going up to one. I don't know if because they said a college tour. So maybe they just going up to one college and spending the night or something like that. But when I think of college tour, I think of you visiting a lot of colleges, but it looked like they was just visiting one college or whatever. But again, we really don't know, but we'll get into that in a few. But they on the school bus, Kevin sitting next to Gemma, whatever. And you know, Gemma, I thought she was taking a picture, but she doing a video and she's saying how they going on this college tour and how she wants to be like this. I don't even remember what she said, but she want to be this, science engineer, something like that, child. And she asked Kevin, like, well, what do you want to do or whatever? And he was like, I don't know. She like, well, I can't post that. And he like, well, what you mean you can't post that? She was like, because I can't post that because it won't look like we equally yoked and stuff. I said, girl, how old is we? Like, everybody don't know what they want to be when they grow up. Like, it's okay to go to college and not have a major and still trying to figure yourself out or even decide if you really want to go to college. But I was just looking at her like, He was just like, okay, I'm going to see how Jake doing. Because you can tell, like, Kevin is pretty much over Gemma at this point. Like, he is exhausted by her. And then he already still kind of high and drunk from the night before. So she really playing on his nerves. So he asked Jake how he doing. Jake like, it's fine. Like they said, I'm going to get out this thing in like a couple days or whatever like that. I'm good. This girl come up, right? I don't know her name. We going to call her Becky. Becky comes and sit next to him and she like, how you doing, not Kev? How you doing, Jake or whatever? And she like, yeah, I heard, I just want to thank you or praise you or something. She said, like, I'm proud of you for standing up to the man, like standing up to the white racist cops and yada, yada, yada. And he was like, yeah, you know, so she put her hand all on his thigh. That's why I said them girls is fast. So she put his hand to my, well, how can I show you how grateful I am or something. Because she was like, black power. I said, you want that black D. Girl, stop. So she all rubbing on his thigh and stuff. And he like, oh, I got a couple ways for you to make up to me or show me how happy you are or something like that. And also when she sat down, they asked him how he was feeling. He was like, oh, man, it's rough. Like the doctor said, I'm going to have to be in this thing for about 2 to 4 months. I said, Jake. I said, typical teenage boy. We see Keisha. She got a job at the thrift shop or whatever. And she going through it. Her boss putting her through it. She like, don't lean on the counters. If the customers can't lean on the counters, we can't lean on the counters and stuff like that. She putting the stuff away in the on the racks and stuff, and then she sees a friend because the friend asking for some purses or something like that. The friend ends up seeing like she pregnant. She was like, is you good or whatever? She was like, yeah, I'm good. The purses is over there. So it was like some weird awkward conversation. I was just like, oh my goodness, poor Keisha. So then we see Duda. So Duda walking through the hallways of the hospital. He looking at the video of the cop beating up Jake, and he like, well, ain't nothing happened to this cop yet. Why is they moving slow with it or whatever? We got the video cam, like what's going on? Like why they not moving with this or whatever? And Jimma Dad, do we know Jimma Dad name? Somebody helped me out real good last week with the names, but I don't know what Jimma Daddy name is, so his name gonna be Jimma Daddy, okay? So somebody can tell me what his name is. So Jimma Dad like, well, don't fall back into your past or whatever like that. So Duda like, look, my past is what got me here, and it what got you here, and it's what pays you pretty much. And he was like, all right, man, but you know, I just need you to slow your roll. I don't want you to get no big head or whatever. Here go Duda. Well, I'm the head nigga in charge. Remember that. I said, ooh. So then he pretty much dismissed Rose and Jimma Daddy because he was going in to see the cop. At first I was like, well, who we going to see? Because there was 2 cops standing outside the hospital door. He going to see the cop. The cop all beat up because we know Trig beat him up. So the cop like, this is what we going to do because you going to send your goons after me every time we have a disagreement or something like that. And he was like, so what you saying? I did this. I ain't do this to you. I don't know what happened to you. But I know what you did do. You beat up this young kid or whatever like that. And what you got all this security for? What you scared or whatever? And so he like, Jake attacked me, and that's why I did what I did or whatever. He was like, oh, he attacked you. That's not what I saw. And he was like, well, I asked him for his ID. Duda like, well, why would you ask him for his ID or whatever? Like, that's just procedure and stuff. And so he was just like, but it didn't look like y'all was talking. So what is you saying, pretty much? And so he going through his file, and he like, you had a lot of run-ins with a lot of black teenagers or whatever, or a lot of black boys or whatever. He was like, this is a pattern of racist moves and stuff. And the cop was trying to defend himself or whatever. So Duda was like, is you a racist cop? And he was like, look, I'm a war vet with a wife with 4 kids, and I ain't no bad cop, and I'm just doing my job and stuff, and yada, yada, yada. I said he didn't answer the question. Is you a racist cop or no? Like, the answer was simple, no or yes. But in your case, it would have been yes, because you was profiling and doing all this extra stuff when you shouldn't have been doing all that. So Duda was like, all right, my man. So then he leaves out. It's a protest outside. News reporters is there and stuff. They asking Duda, you know, what we gonna do about this and stuff. Child, he busts out and was just like, Officer Reed is fired. We will not have no racist cops. They will not be tolerated on his watch. I said, ooh. Rose and Jimma Daddy looking at each other like, did he just do what I think he just did? Child. Then we see Maisha. So Maisha and Papa, they doing this little podcast and stuff like that. He doing it in his closet because he wants to bring justice and awareness to police brutality and stuff like that. He DM'd this, I guess, this famous guy in Chicago called Van Jones and stuff. And he wants him to be on his first guest on his podcast and whatever. Maisha like, boy, bye. Like, you think Van Jones gonna come and be on your podcast? You are seriously mistaken and stuff. So she laughing at him. He getting in his feelings because she not supporting him or whatever. She like, I'm supporting your dreams, but I'm just being honest. Like, that man is not coming. So let's just get on with them because they really ain't have nothing too much. So then Papa, he doing this video and stuff saying like how Van Jones didn't show up and stuff like that, and he's offended like he didn't come, like he thought he would be looking out for the little man and stuff like that. Maisha looks on her social media and it's like, look, he on a Red Table Talk. So Papa was like, well, I hope he has a good time at his big syndication on Red Tabletop. But I hope he looking out for the little man and come through or whatever. And so Maisha apologizes for, not believing that Van Jones was coming. Papa was like, well, he didn't come. She was like, yeah, but I should have believed more and stuff like that. So they make up and stuff. And she was like, well, I got a plan B. Her plan B was basically her laying down a nice little track on his podcast. So her rap was pretty much about Papa and how she got support from him. And I think it was about the neighborhood too. But it was just like boom, boom, boom. I was like, oh, okay, I wonder if she wrote that and rhymed that like that. But it was really cute. And I think that was all for them. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that was it for them. All right, and so let me roll back. So at the college tour, child, Gemma on her little blah, 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 blah. Like, the girl is cute, but she just be just too much sometimes. And she do not read the room. Like, Kevin is not interested in what you talking about, boo. Like, read the room. So she talk about how she think getting a higher education is a scam. And the stuff she was saying wasn't like false or whatever. But it's just like sometimes people just don't feel like hearing it right now. Like we just want to be on the tour and just, just feel the vibe and get what we can get from it or whatever. But she going in how it's a scam and how you just accumulating more debt. And then some jobs you can't even use your associates or your bachelor's. You need a master's degree. You need an advanced certification. You need all this stuff. Like I said, nothing she was saying was false. And it is true because if you're not getting scholarships or you're not getting grants, you're going to accumulate debt, or you don't have the money to pay for a higher education. You're going to accumulate debt and you're going to have to pay back these student loans in the end. And your job may not even cover half the student loans because, child, the way my student loans is looking, I'm going to be a career student, okay? Next week, I'll probably enroll in goddamn culinary school, okay? Because I ain't deferment. But anyway, she go on and on and on about that. And he like, yeah, you're right. Or maybe because, and then she was saying like how the big rich people, most of them don't even have a college degree. He was like, yeah, like Bill Gates and stuff. And so I forgot who he said he was going to emulate. But she was like, I think you need to think big or whatever. And he was like, look, I'm going to go find out where Jake at or whatever. And she was like, well, it seems like you're not interested in what I'm saying. I'm just trying. He was like, yeah. No, she was like, I think you're just mad at me or something like that. He was like, yeah, I'm just tired of hearing your voice. I said, oh, God. Oh, okay. Like, that's some shit to say to somebody. So he texts Jake. And Jake, I don't think he looked at the phone, but he ain't returned the message or nothing like that. Because he basically in the bathroom about to bow chicky wow with old Becky ass. I said, look at this fast ass girl. I hope he used the condom. Then we see at the thrift shop, we see Darnell. He talking on the phone or whatever. And he talking to somebody. And he like, yeah, man, because you need to just tell the truth and come clean or whatever. Here go Emmett. I thought you told me not to tell Tiff. He was like, man, I ain't even talking to you. I said, Emmett, like, you is spiraling out of control. Like, you are, I said spiraling out of control. Like, get it together. So, Darnell like, man, I ain't even talking to you. And him and his big ass, is Darnell a truck driver? Because the truck drivers always got them big ass headsets. Like, what do he do? But he got that big ass headset. He like, man, I'm going to call you back. He is said like this, and I'm gonna call you back. Like, dude. But anyway, so he talking. They end up seeing Keisha there or whatever. Darnell asking for the family discount. She like, no, but you can find what you need to find over there. Her and Emmett start talking, and Emmett like, I need to tell Tiff the truth and stuff. She was like, well, duh, I've been told you that. He checking on her, seeing how she doing and stuff, and she's saying like she real stressed out, like she don't really know what to do. She's trying to make sure the baby okay. And he was like, girl, don't worry too much. My baby mamas, they ate hot Cheetos and pickles, and my kids turned out fine. I said, did they though? Oh, okay. But she like, well, she's still trying to find somebody, to adopt the baby and stuff like that. And he was just like, just trust yourself, trust your gut and stuff. So Kevin finally finds Jake, and Kevin asked him, did he use the condom? And he was like, man, don't be worried about my business. I said, Lord, please let this boy here use the condom. And so then they see these group of white guys playing video games, or college guys or whatever, playing video games. And so Kevin was saying, like, you can get scholarships for the video games and stuff like that. So Jake gave him, like, some money, was like, well, go ahead, go over there and, you know, bet it or whatever. Child, Kevin go over there, he playing the video games and stuff like that. He looked like he winning, he getting all this money. Let me go ahead and finish up with them. So Kev, he doing it and stuff like that. He winning big and stuff. The white boy asked him, like, one of the white boys was like, dang, man, you didn't beat me out my coke money. I said, not the coke money. So then the white boy asked him, like, well, have you ever done shrooms? Have you ever done Molly? You want a line of coke? Kevin like, no, I'm just going to stick to this weed over here. And the one guy was like, man, leave him alone. He's just a kid. So then, of course, Kevin, not, child, he say, all right, well, let me get some of that Molly. I said, no, Kevin. Like, that's the worst thing you could have did, because that just gets you don't know what you're doing, and then you don't even know how that's going to affect your body. And then he drinking on top of it. I said, Jesus. So he drinking, gaming, drinking. I don't know. I think he only popped one Molly, but he drinking on top of that one Molly, playing a video game, probably smoking weed. He finally goes up to, I guess the dorms or whatever where they about to sleep at. And the hall dorm lady, because Gemma was like, Kevin, are you drunk? Here go the head dorm lady. That's what I want to know. Is you drunk? And then Kevin ends up throwing up. I said, first of all, Gemma, you supposed to be his girl. You supposed to have his back. Why are you asking him all out in the hallway, is he drunk? And you know this lady standing right here. Girl, bye. But anyway, he ends up getting kicked off the college tour. So that's why I said we don't know if they were just visiting that one college or if they was going to visit more. But he ends up getting kicked off the college tour because he was drunk. And I don't know if they knew he did drugs, but he was drunk or whatever like that. And so Keisha had to end up picking him up from the dog on college or whatever. So she like, look, you need to get yourself together. All you got one job to do. That's get good grades and go to school. Like, I'm supposed to be in college right now and you blowing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, get yourself together. And then she like, and you owe me, because I'm not even going to tell mom, but just know that you owe me or whatever like that. So then we gonna end, that's pretty much happened with Kevin and them. I'm gonna end the rest of it at the end. So then we see Tiff. So Tiff is with her client. Is he a rapper? I think he's a rapper. I can't remember if he's a rapper or not. But we know the client that was like, he all into Tiff. He really want to do her and stuff like that. She with him. And so she, giving him his weed and stuff like that. And she giving him a little extra for the referral he gave or whatever. And so he flirting per usual. And he like, well, how married life or whatever. And she was like, it's cool or whatever. I've been with the nigga for a long time, so ain't no difference or whatever. He was like, well, you sound like you bored with him. And so she was like, well, after all we've been through, I will take a little boredness or whatever. So, so they ended that with that or whatever. I'm sorry, y'all. So then we see Emmett. So I'm going to go and clean it up with them. So we see Emmett. And Emmett is bow chicky wow wowing with Tiff. So he getting it in or trying to get it in, but in Darnell's voice, which is so weird. Like, why is your daddy voice in your head while you knee deep in child bye? But he hearing Darnell. And so he's talking out loud to Darnell. Like, why you just not saying it in your head? He's saying it out loud. So he like, get the F out of here. So Keisha, Tiffany like, what's going on? Like, what? What are you talking about? So he was like, no, baby, no. I'm just, you like that? You like that? She was like, oh, you want to talk dirty to me? Okay. He was like, no. So then he blurted out, get the F out of here or something like that. She was like, what is going on with you? Because you've been acting real different ever since we got married. Like, do you regret getting married to me and stuff like that? He was like, no. She was like, well, you need to tell me what's going on, because I know something going on and I'm not trying to act like nothing going on again. So he finally blurts out, and I'm like, well, damn, he could have smoothed it over or something. He blurted out, I F Dom. I said, well, damn. Oh, okay. So of course she gets up and she leave. Tiff. She got dressed somewhere, child, and she left out the apartment. So she was gone. Okay. We see her later on, and because he was like, I love you, I love you. She gone, boy. We see Tiff later on with the weed dealer, and she let him blow her back out. I said, about time, Tiff. About time. So then we see Trig. Let me see. I skipped something, didn't I? Yeah, okay. So it was I'm about to say Dominique. Duda, he had a press conference. So then he called this impromptu press conference and stuff like that. Rose, of course, upset. So she stay upset. Like, she just stay mad. Like, we just call her Mad Rose because she just stay mad. So Gemma Daddy and Rose, they like, you can't just throw no impromptu press conference and like let us know what's going on or whatever. He was like, I can do whatever I want to do. So he goes out there in the press conference, child. He's talking about how all these people got killed. We can't even go to sleep. We can't even walk down the street. We can't even babysit nobody. Like, we can't do nothing without getting killed by the police. You know, we can't even drive in our car, go to the grocery store without somebody thinking we stealing or something like that, or something stupid, or we just walking in the store and we getting shot. So he like, you know what? I'm finna defund the police. So everybody like, what? The look that Rose and Gemma Daddy gave each other, like, oh, we gonna have to kill this nigga. So, he was like, I know y'all got a lot of questions, but I ain't got no answers for y'all right now, so be blessed. And so he goes off into the thing. Well, back into the whatchamabout. I told y'all about Emmett, and I skipped something because now I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, that's what I skipped. I don't know where I skipped it at, but we saw Trig not get out of jail. We see this dude, and we haven't seen this boy in a long time in films or anything like that. Maybe he be on like the BET circuit or something like that. I don't know, but I ain't seen him in a long time, child. But he got out of jail. I think Trig called him Sean. So I guess this is like an old friend of Trig's, and it sounds like he did a bid for Trig or whatever. So now Trig owe him or what stuff like that. This dude, I'm not really feeling him, and I feel like he going to bring Trig down, and something going to pop off with him. But he come out of jail. I'm not sure how long he was in there for, but he get out, and he all like, yo, when they get this new ride. So he all excited about Trig car and stuff. Trig end up throwing him a roll of dough. He was about to drive the car. I'm like, sir, you just got out of jail. What license you got? And you about to drive in front of the... Sir, bye. You making wrong decisions already. So we find out what Imani was talking about earlier when about the lemon pepper wings. That was for his party. So he goes to the party. Before he got there, Trig had told him, like, he had this wifey, her name Imani, because he was like, yo, I heard you had a bad bitch or whatever. He was like, yeah, but don't call her no bitch. She's, you know, my queen and stuff like that. Her name Imani. And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, I just need you to know, keep your hands off of her. Like, don't put your hands on. So something tells me that he must have been going, you know, taking Trig's women or whatever like that. So I'm like, and this your friend? So he get in the car. He was like, well, I need you just find me a woman with little titties, a big ass, and low standards. I said, oh my God, I am deceased. So then the party, like I said, was for this dude, Sean. So they get there. It's a whole bunch of people in the house. Congratulations, yada, yada, yada. Imani, like, you know, he goes over there. Sean, I don't know if that was his name or not, but I feel like that's what Trig said. Sean goes over there to Imani. He was like, oh, okay, this wifey or whatever. And the way he was looking at her was creeping me out. Like, I didn't like the look he was giving her. And it made Imani uncomfortable. You can tell on her face that she was uncomfortable as hell. And so Trig was like, yo, I just told you, like, we just had this conversation, like, keep your hands to yourself or whatever. Because he gave her, like, this long hug. And then the way he was looking at her, then he asked her, like, you got a sister and stuff. And she like, Trig like, look, man, eat the food first before you worried about, you know, getting knee deep in something. So he was like, well, dude, I could do both. So then Imani go over to the side and talk to Trig. And she like, well, you said it was going to be a little bit of people. Like, the whole house was filled with people, child. And he like, yeah, you know, but he just got out of jail and stuff like that. And so she was like, he going to need a ride home. Because he had drunk like the whole bottle of Henny and stuff. So he like, well, this is his home. She like, wait, what? Who said who? And he was like, man, he did a bid for me or whatever like that. So I owe him. She was like, well, would he do a bid for you like that? Do you know if he would have did it? No. Something like vice versa, something like that. And so or did he do a beef? I don't remember. But she was like, well, look, just tell me he gonna get an apartment real soon and whatever. He was like, yeah, he gonna get an apartment and stuff. Dude in the background, he is loud, obnoxious, and like I said, I really feel like he gonna get Trig in a lot of trouble because he like, yo, where the rest of the Henny at? Where we need some more pizza and stuff? Bone nigga. I'm like, oh, like you loud and just you're doing too much already, and you just got out 5 minutes ago. Like, put him back in. So, I don't trust him. What did y'all feel about him? I don't trust him. At the class reunion with Jada and her boo, it's just pretty much. She found out that her boo was servicing a lot of women because one of her ex friends or one of the girl who she really ain't like too much. She was like, "Oh, who is this? Oh, I know you or whatever." And he was like, "Well," she was like, "Well, how you know him?" She was like, "Oh, he my massage." No, he was like, "I'm her masseuse or whatever." She was like, "You did more than massage me." I said, "Oh Lord." So now they know you dating a hoe. Like, girl, stop. And then Nina ended up talking to him and saying, like, you know, what's your end deal with my girl? And he said he wanted to show her the world. And she was like, look, she don't need to see the world. She just wants somebody to grow old with or whatever. So that was it for that. I told y'all about all of that. Then we see on the street, Trig, he going to the grocery store or something like that. And in the first episode, when we saw the guy who looked like he was mentally handicapped, he was outside the like the little convenience store or whatever. And so the cops doing the most again. They harassing him, emptying his pockets, and you can tell the boy ain't all there or whatever. And so Trey come out and was like, yo, leave him alone. That's my cousin. And they about to handcuff him and do all this other stuff. The cops pull the guns and stuff. Trey like, He pull out the phone. He like, everybody pull out your phones, record this. If y'all want to go down for a murder and be on film, this is what y'all gonna get. They was like, oh, okay, we don't got time for this ish. We out of here. So they packed up their stuff, unhandcuffed the dude, and Trig ended up taking him home or whatever like that. We see the cops, they rolling down the street looking at Duda like, your time is up. Rose and Jim or Daddy, they mad. Rose mad. And it wasn't just Rose and Duda. Yeah, it was just Rose and Duda. Rose is mad. Like I said, I'm gonna call her Mad Rose because she like, you can't just be doing stuff. Like, what is you doing? Oh, that was a scene too. I skipped. Cause Rose and Duda Daddy, why do I keep saying Duda Daddy? Jim or Daddy, Jesus help me, had confronted him and told him like, you can't defund the police. You can't do this. And he said, like, you know, I can do whatever I want to. I'm the mayor, yada, yada, yada. And so Rose had basically was like, you need to watch your back or some shit like that. Or that's how you're going to end up killed. And he was like, is that a threat? And she was like, no, I'm just trying to protect you. He was like, I don't need your protection. I'm protected wherever I go. So then in this scene, she basically like, you can't just be doing stuff that you want to do or whatever. I didn't sign up for this. And he was like, you pretty much did when you got back in this. Ain't nobody tell you to pop back into the picture. Like, you was gone, ho. I ain't tell you to come back because I was running for mayor. You saw, oh, we gonna be in this big spotlight and stuff like that. All this money, all this power and stuff like that. And you came back in. Oh, you signed up for this. So he pretty much told her that. We see Jada. Let me make sure, y'all, because this is why I don't like trying to clump stuff in together because I'll be skipping stuff. So we see Jada. She is laying down with her boo thing. We just gonna call him a boo thing because we're not gonna call her masseuse because obviously they more than that. So he, you know, massaging her body, filling up her body and stuff like that, you know, just caressing her and stuff. And he feels a lump on her breast. So he like, what's this? And she like, oh, that's been there. You don't think I know my body? This bump been here. I get it checked out every year, yada, yada, yada. And so he was like, oh, okay. And she was like, what, you want me to get it checked out again or whatever? And he was like, yes, I would like that. Can you get it checked out for me? And so she like, all right. So then they start bow chicky wow wowing. We see the crew, Nina, Dre, Kevin, and Keisha. They about to go somewhere. We find out that they going to Keisha's sonogram. So they hear the heartbeat and everything like that. Kevin looks like he's interested. And Jada and Nina and Dre, they are like all happy and stuff. And I don't know. It seemed seem like they itching to keep the baby and stuff like that. That's what is looking like, but I don't know. I'm not gonna call it too early, but that's what it's looking like to me. So then we see Tiff. She sleep. She knocked out or whatever like that. Emmett, he looking out the window. He looking like the door. Like he like where's she at? The baby healthy and stuff like that. And then we see Jada. So Jada at the doctor's office, child, and the doctor is telling her that it is he gonna do a biopsy on the lump to see what stage the cancer is in. I was like, damn. And so she just broke down and started crying, and that's how it ended. But I'm like, did she know? Was that really? Well, let me stop. Did she already know that lump was there? Was that truthful when she told old boy that lump was already there? She been watching it for a long time and yada yada yada, or did he discover it and then she went to the doctor and then they told her it was breast cancer or whatever like that? So I'm trying to figure out, because if they was really watching it and stuff like that, it wouldn't have gotten into that stage that it's in where he like, we gotta see what we gonna do next for this or whatever like that. Like she would have been knew it may have been cancerous or whatever, and they probably would have did a lumpectomy and removed it. So, child, I'm just like, Lord have mercy. Don't let Jada die. Like, come on, y'all. They say killing somebody off on this damn show. Anyway, that was the review. If y'all enjoyed this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified for when I drop new videos. All right, y'all. Until next time, peace.